Okay, so hi guys. So before your quiz, let's have a quick review for the computation of the Board of Rating for a taker of the licensure examination for medical technologist to determine if he or she passed or failed the licensure examination. So again, we have three criteria. Excuse me. Criteria number one, that is a general average of at least 75% in the written test. Okay, so that is computed based on the percentage allocation for each subject, wherein 20% for clinical chemistry, 20 for hematology, 20 for microbiology and parasitology, 20% also for blood banking. For clinical microscopy and analysis of urine and other body fluids, that is only 10%. And histopath and medtech laws, that is also 10%. So that is a total of 100%. So we compute the average by taking into account the relative weights of each subject. So criteria number two, that is no rating below 50% in any of the major subject. Therefore, so we have here the four major subject, that is the CC, clinical chemistry, HEMA, microbiology and parasitology, and the blood banking. Okay, so you have to identify what are the major subjects. So these are the four major subjects. If a taker failed to get 50, okay, 50% in any of these four, she or he already failed the board exam. For example, in CC, she had a grade of 49, 48, okay, or less than any number less than 50. So she already or he already failed the examination because she or he was not able to meet the criteria number two. Okay? Or yes, criteria number three, that is has not failed in at least 60% of the subjects computed according to their relative weights, which means that she or he must pass. Okay? Dapat pumasa siya in at least 60%. So, like for this one, we determine. Let's check if she was able to pass the criteria number three. So failed, that is 20%. Failed, that is already another 20%. So she already failed in 40. Okay, so and then she failed also the blood banking, that is another 20%. So that is already 60%. She failed in 60% of the subjects computed to their relative weights. Ang sinasabing criteria number 3 has not failed. So, ibig sabihin, dapat pumasa yung taker dun sa subjects na at least 60%. Okay? Kaso, bumagsak siya sa 60%. So, ibig sabihin, Jen already failed the examination. Okay? But we still need to answer the 3 questions here. So, in your quiz, it is like this also. You have to answer 3 questions. May tatlong blank doon. So, kailangan yung sagutan yung tatlo. So, what is her jiwa? So, let's compute again. Or the general average of Jen. So, this is 20%. So, itong apat. So, each must be computed by multiply to 0.2. Okay? So, yung dating example ko, that is, maglagay ka lang ng period in between 7.2 times 2. Okay, that is already 14.4. Pero, pag tinatamad ka naman, you may use your calculator also. Okay, that is 72 times 0.20 to get the 20%. Okay, so, kaso madali lang naman, di ba? So, that is just basic math. 7.2 times 2, that is 14.4. Okay, so hematology, another 20%, that is 12. 6 times 2, 12. Okay, this one, kasi nga, again guys, 20%. So, you have to multiply their grades here by 20%. Kaya, ganun yung nangyayari. So, that is, you can use the calculator, 95 times 0.2 to get the 20%, or 9.5 times 2, pwede lang din naman yun, that is 19. Tama ba? 19, yes. Okay, so this is also 20% lead banking, 4.9. Okay, so times 20% or times 0.2 or 4.9 times 2, that is 9.8. Okay, but since CM and histopathies are only 10%, maglagay ka lang ng decimal place in between the two numbers, that is 9.9 and 8.5. So to get for the general average, you just have to add them. Okay? So pag in-add natin yung mga yan, the general average of Gen, that is 73.6%. Okay? So i-add mo lang ito lahat, 73.6. So we can now answer the 3 questions here. Okay. So what is her general average? That is, so in your quiz, ganito yung gagawin nyo, tama? Okay? So you just encode 73 point. So you use 2 decimal places. Okay? So you use 2 decimal places na lang for uniformity. So 73.6%. So what is the result of her exam? That is failed. Okay? So bagsak siya dun sa exam. If she did not pass, what is or are the reason? Okay? So, para mas madaling i-check, you just have to cite kung ano yung mga hindi niya naipasa na criteria. So, C1, okay? So, criteria 1, you do not need to indicate any or encode any commas or period right after this one. So, C1, so she was not able to meet the general average of at least 75%. So, no rating below 50% in any of the major subjects. Kaso meron siya. So, meron siyang 49. So, eto. Hindi rin niya to nakuha or hindi rin niya naabot. So, C1, 2, okay, has not failed in at least 60%. So, which means, so she must have passed at least 60. Pero, hindi niya naipasa yung at least 60 kasi bagsak siya dito. 20, another 20, another 20. So, she failed in 60% of the subjects computed to the relative weights. So, she failed the exam because she was not able to meet all of the 3 criteria. So, kaya ganyan yung ilalagay nyo sa third. Okay? So, sa third na blank dun sa identification. So, failed, the GWA, result, and kung bakit siya bumagsak, the criteria that she was not able to meet. So, C1, 2, and 3. But in case, for example lang, okay, ma'am, what if dalawa lang yung hindi niya na-meet na sa criteria? For example, yung G1 niya is pasado naman, pero may rating siya below 50, and she was not able to pass at least 60% of the subject. So, you just need to indicate the word C. So, criteria 2 and 3, kung yun yung hindi niya na-meet. Pero kung for example, na-meet niya naman tong 2 and 3, pero yung G1 niya hindi pasado. So, C1 lang. Okay? What if, ma'am, yung 1 and 3 ang hindi niya na-meet? Okay? Pero wala naman siyang rating below 50% of the major subjects. So, that is just 1 and 3. Okay? So, ganun lang po yung quiz nyo mamaya. Okay, so we have here another example. So, let's compute again. So, let's get this one. Okay, so we have here Mika. So, we compute first for the GA, the general average. Okay, so again, CC, that is 20%, 6.8 times 2, or 68 times 0.2, that is 13.6. 7.8 times 2, or 78.6 78 times 0.2 to get the 20%, that is 15.6. Okay, another 20% micro and para, 7.9 times 2 or 79 times 0.2, that is 15.8. Okay, so BB, that is just 8 times 2, so that is 16 or 80 times 0.2. So this is just 10%, so 5.5 kasi cm. And these two PatMedTech laws and others, that is just 9.2. So you get the general average, that is 75.7. Okay? So, 2 decimal places na lang. 75.7. So, what is her general average? Okay, so that is, you encode this one, 75.70. What is the result of her exam? So, we determine first if she passed or failed the exam. So, she was able to meet this one, criteria 1, no rating below 50% in any of the major subject. Greater than 50, greater than 50, greater than 50, greater than 50. Okay, eto ulit yung titignan natin, CC, HEMA, Micropara, and BB. Kasi nga, these are the major subjects. So, she was also able to meet the criteria number 2. For criteria number 3, has not failed in at least 60%. So, dapat pumasa siya in at least 60%. So, kapag sinasabi kasi natin pumasa, that must be greater than or equal to 75. Okay? So, pass, 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 pass. Pumasa siya sa, eto, 20, 40, okay, 60, and 70. So, pasado siya sa 70% of the subject. Saan siya bagsak? Dito lang, 68. Okay, so that is 20% in this one. So, bagsak lang siya sa 30%. Okay, ang requirement, okay, that is dapat pumasa yung taker in at least 60%. Okay, so dapat at least 60 yung maipasa niya. So, pasado siya kasi pasado siya dito, 20, 20, another 20, so that is already 60, another 10. So, she passed 70% of the subject. So, she was also able to meet criteria number 3. So, she passed the exam. So, for this one, you still have to answer this. Okay? So, not applicable na lang, ME. Okay? So, if the taker was able to pass the licensure examination, your answer for number 3 is NE, not applicable. Kasi pumasa naman na siya. Okay? So, sa number 3, the question is, if she did not pass, what is the reason? Kaso pumasa siya. So, this question is not applicable. Okay? So, I hope you were able to get the computation for the board rating because I will give you 5 computation, 4 cases. Okay, so you have to do it this way. Okay, so you have to encode on 3 lines the general average, the result of the exam, and the reason why if the taker was not able to pass, okay, the examination. Pero kapag pasado siya, NA lang naman yung ilalagay nyo, not applicable. Okay, so that's all. If you have questions, feel free to message me. Okay, so as much as I want to meet you via Zoom, okay, I cannot because of the poor internet connection. Okay, it's really not that stable. Okay, so I hope you do good in your quiz. So God bless everyone and thank you for listening.